I'm sure by now most of you guys have heard of GitHub Copilot. And if you haven't, Copilot is a project being developed on Microsoft and GitHub. For the most part, it's an extension to VS Code. And it's a machine learning model that uses code that's stored on GitHub to generate new code. So as you can see right here in this example, this guy, he's writing comments. And as he writes a comment, GitHub Copilot generates the code that it's thinking that he wants to write. It's been out for a little while, at least in beta, and I think you had to sign up for it. I signed up for it. I got in maybe about a year ago, but I haven't really used it for much. But they're releasing the final thing. It's you can see it here just on the homepage. You can find it. And here's an example. See, it has generated all that code based on the above code. It was originally free. You just signed up for it, and then you got access for it. But now they're charging $10 a month and $100 a year, which, if you do use it, that's a pretty good deal. $10 a month, it'll generate your code. It'll probably save you hours of time if you're using it full time, basically. What a lot of people, though, are mad about is the fact that GitHub Copilot, it trains on code that's mostly hosted on GitHub. And if you know what that means, it's not GitHub's code. It's not Microsoft code. It's your code. It's my code. It's other people's code. It's basically everyone's code that they post and push to the repositories on GitHub. And is that really fair? Is that fair for their machine learning models to learn using your stuff and also possibly generate your exact same code? The whole point of the machine learning is that it generates new things, but it could just be copying and pasting some of your code at certain points. And along with that, they're charging $10 a month. So they're selling your code for $10 a month. And a lot of people are getting angry about that. You can look on Twitter and see people talking about it. This guy says, GitHub Copilot is incredible. It just sells code other people wrote. But because it's an AI, it's apparently allowed to launder that code without being derivative work. What an amazing grift. And then this person says, explored GitHub Copilot, a paid service, to see if it encodes code from repositories or restrictive licenses. I checked if it has code I had written in my previous employer that a license, allowing its use only for free games and required attaching the license. Yeah, it does. So he's able to see some past code that he had worked on, and it was in GitHub's Copilot. This other person says, hey GitHub, that you're charging for Copilot when it's trained off code that's been written free by folks who've worked hard and helped build your company's ecosystem an extremely bad look. Signed a former lead maintainer of the third most downloaded Ruby package of all time. I don't really know what that package is. Ruby Central. I don't know. But, yeah. So people were kind of upset that they're taking your code that you're hosting on, that they're hosting for you, and they're using it for their studies and their research and their machine learning, and then they're selling their machine learning from that. There was even something about a year ago, some people were saying there's going to be lawsuits about GitHub basically just selling your licensed code, and I don't think anything actually happened of it. But that's because it was originally going to be free. Maybe now they're selling it. There'll be some more lawsuits. Hopping over the terms of use from GitHub, there's nothing in here about Copilot itself. But under this part, license to grant to us, it says, we need the legal right to do things like host your content, publish it, share it. You grant us and our legal successors the right to store, archive, parse, and display your content. And make incidental copies as necessary to provide the service, including improving the service over time. So you're given permission to parse it. And down here it says, parse it in a search index or otherwise analyze it in our servers. It also says the license does not grant GitHub the right to sell your content. It also does not grant GitHub the right to otherwise distribute use your content outside the provision of the service. So they don't have the right to sell your content as is, but they do say they're parsing it. And there's nothing else on here that I could see that had anything to do with their right to your code. But I don't know. I guess I'm not a lawyer or anything. I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that really matters? At the end of the day, coders and programmers all make jokes about all the time and how they're just taking other people's code and stuff like that. And they're selling their software. So what really makes this much different? So share your guys' opinions and thoughts in the comments. And see you guys again next time. Bye.